What is good, YouTube? It's calsoscoped. In today's video, I'm gonna be showing you how to make an edit that you see just like this on the screen, just like that you see on the screen. All right, because I've been getting a lot of requests. A lot of people want to know how to make this edit, and I do speed arts. I did a speed art for this, but today we're gonna be actually doing like an in-depth breakdown of how to do a glow edit. Like, it's really not that it's not that complicated. You just gotta be creative and you just gotta make something smooth. So let's hop into it. Yeah, so today I'm gonna be using, let me make sure this is recording. Yeah, we're recording. Alright, today we're gonna be using Kyrie Irving. I haven't done a little Kyrie edit in a minute. So first, what you do, I usually just hop right onto Google Images, and then I type in like who I want to pick. I pick Kyrie Irving, so now I'm gonna save Kyrie Irving glow template, because this is my base photo that I'm gonna use, right? Alright, bet. So now I'm gonna hop on. You see, I was doing Alonzo edit before, but yeah, now I'm gonna take this Kyrie Irving picture. What the hell? Nah, that ain't it. Oh, we're in base photos. Alright, so Kyrie Irving glow template, right? So we got Kyrie right here. What you're gonna do, take the mask tool right here, the little like brush paint thing or whatever. Some people go pen tool, but pen tool takes a mad long, so I don't want to waste a whole bunch of your guys' time. That would be annoying to have to sit through and just watch me pen tool this whole thing out. Yeah, that won't be fun. But I take the selection tool, like this is my go-to really. I always take the selection tool, and then I go like this with it all over the body. Pressing Alt is to minus, pressing just on it with the plus button. You see the plus button here? That is to make it a bigger selection. Then I'll also switch to the minus lasso tool. And how you switch from minus to plusing, like minus and plusing, I'm like talking technically, I don't know why, but I guess that's what happens when you're a nerd. But to minus is to delete some of your content that you have selected, and then plus is to add, which is pretty self-explanatory, but you press Alt to do that before you click. So you have plus right there. I'm clicking on Alt on my keyboard, and now it's going to minus. But I need to clean this up a little bit. And if you like finish a mask and it's not perfect, don't even stress about it, because you can go back onto it and you could just if you make a mask, you can edit undestructively, so you're not gonna like destroy your piece of work. You'll see what I mean when I make a mask. Y'all see. Alright, so he's almost masked out. He's masked out pretty good. What you guys are gonna see right now is me going over the hair. I'm not gonna go over it like that precisely, because a lot of times with hair, as you see like a lot of designers and stuff, sometimes you see even like the best designers kind of messing up the hair, and it's not that hard to do on Photoshop, to be honest. You just gotta know, you just get used to it really. But I'll show you what I do usually to make hair not messed up. Alright, so I'm gonna go with that for now. Now I'm in my selected mask. See this red around it? You can change the color to really whatever you want. I go with that bright red because then I can see everything really clearly. And see these tools up top, you got your selection, you got all that, but you only need to use the refine edge, the feather tool I call it, but it's the refine edge. So it's there, and then I just drag usually. Like you see all these settings right here. You can change the different like smoothness. It's lagging because this picture is really big pixels, but I usually just keep it at the base default settings for the refine edge. I'm using the refine edge. I'm going over like that, and now you see we got a way better selection of the hair. See, it's gonna include some of this the fringes of the hair, because the hair isn't like it's not a like straight object like you see like when you see what do you call it? Hair's not a straight object like an arm or something. Like there's actually like pieces like hanging off his hair. It's especially with African Americans, it's really it'd be frizzy at the top, especially when you're in game. So now I got my mask, and also what I'm gonna do usually is what I do, a big step of editing, making your pictures 4x5 if you're posting on Instagram, because Instagram is like the max size for Instagram is like 4x5. So that's why I usually make my edits 4x5, unless I'm doing like a flyer or something like that, but we're not doing that. And you see, like, this is a really big picture, so now I'm bringing it down. When I downsize, I usually use bicubic sharper reduction, so I'm using that, and this is a pretty good selection. All right, also what I do is I hold control and I add a new layer to add a layer underneath that. Now I'm gonna add a black layer just to start kicking off the what is this? I need rectangle. There we go. My rectangle tool, adding that black just to kick it off. All right, just to start going into the process of making everything dark. Now here is the most important part. You need to make selections of the light parts of the jersey, but these selections do need to be pretty precise. So as I'm going through these, I'm not going to talk that much because I'm going to just focus in on making these selections, and I'll probably also speed it up. But to make your selections, I usually use my lasso tool or the pen tool. You can use the pen tool as well, but it's up to you. Just make it sure they're really clean and precise. Alright, so now I got my whole jersey, the white of it, selected. What I didn't hip you guys to, I should have told you guys before, is if you have like a color that's like very like present, like a white, sometimes in NBA colors like the colors are actually like just change a lot, so it's not that easy to do this method. But see, if you were to click select then color range, you can actually just pick out a color that you like to choose, and it'll select the color overall. But yeah, that's like a quick tip if you guys want to experiment with that. It's not a gimme. Like, see how I thought I had it all selected. What the hell? But yeah, it's not a gimme, but that works a lot of the time, and it'll help you out. So you won't have to do as much work. But sometimes, like in colors and photos, the colors aren't all picked out. Like but the glow edits, you're not gonna need all the color space, all the data, because the glow is really gonna take over the material. Alright, yeah, we're looking pretty good right now. What you're gonna do next is so you got your selection, right? Now you're gonna hit the layer mask button over here, the little rectangle with the circle. Hit that layer mask button. Boom, you got your selection, right? Now make a duplicate copy of the selection, because you're gonna still need Kyrie, obviously. So I'm gonna delete this layer mask, and I'm gonna name my layers. What you must do in Photoshop is name your layers, or you will get lost very quickly. And I'm gonna call this top layer, I'll just call it white base. Alright, so that's gonna be called white base. And now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna make a duplicate of that layer, and I'm going to turn it into a smart object. Now when you turn it into a smart object, you're gonna have to change what you're gonna have to do. You can do this a whole bunch of different ways, but what I would start out doing is I would add a duplicate of it again, and I'd go effects. I'd add an outer glow first, outer and inner glow, just to start kicking it off the glow process. Alright, so it's not gonna be nothing crazy, because you don't want your glow to be insanely crazy and then it doesn't even look like realistically glowing, and that is not what you want. Okay, you do not want that to happen, because you want your artwork to be clean and have it look good. So it's gonna depend on your image, but I'm picking that glow right there for the outer glow. Then I go up to the inner glow, and you see I'm gonna pick another white inner glow now. So for the inner glow, I'll say something like that. And then the spread, you want to keep this relatively small, because the inner glow is like, Yeah, you just want to keep it small. Okay. So now I have that. So if we were to cancel out, so if we were to take rid of Kyrie, you see it's starting to glow a little bit, right? It's brighter than before. Now you're going to take that white base. You're going to take this white base copy. Put it up on top probably. Or not on top. Okay. Yeah, put it right here, okay? And then we're going to make it into a screen layer. A screen layer makes it pop, and it starts making the animation pop a lot. You're going to put it in the screen layer, then you're going to put it on the Gaussian blur. Gaussian blur is right here. I usually start at like 1.2. You want to start at a low Gaussian blur because you're going to keep adding and adding layers to make your effect go up and up more. So then I bring it up to 1.1. Like it's all up to you what you're going to use as your glow. Like what you want to use your Gaussian blur as. Like how much glow do you want? I usually don't go too crazy because then it starts looking unrealistic, like I said. And you want to keep your artwork clean, like I said. Like you don't want it looking crazy. You obviously want it looking crazy. Like we go crazy, of course, but you don't want it looking like you did way too much. Okay, so right there, it's starting to look really, really bright. So that needs to chill a little bit. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. I'm gonna add another layer to that. I'm gonna take the inner glow off. I'm just gonna put the outer glow back on though, and I'm gonna increase the size. Okay. Now this is all up to you, like I said before. You just want to make sure it's all clean. Your work has to be clean. I'm bringing the opacity down. And since these are all smart layers, you're going to be able to adjust them however you want at the end. Like there's going to be a lot of adjustment period, but if you just keep at it, it's going to start looking better and better. Okay, so now I have this. And what you want to do is also put your glows into like groups, because as you see, like it just makes it way more clean. So here it is. It's Kyrie without the glow. Now if you were to put the next step, add another layer, and this is where I start experimenting, man. Like a lot of this, like you guys ask me how I do it every time. Every time, like the method might change, like honestly, but you just gotta keep experimenting. So yeah, I'll start doing that with it, making him darker and darker. Now I got my group. Let me see. Put the Gaussian blur up some more. I'm just building off of my previous layers. I'm building off of them. Alright. Now you got Kyrie, and you see the glow effects starting to come together, alright? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select him out again. I'm going to make another duplicate layer. I'm going to call this layer Eyes. And I'm also going to name this White Glow Jersey. Eye glow makes your artwork pop again. Again and again and again. Like the eye glow, you need to get this down pat because this will help you out a lot. So you're just going to make a pretty precise, it doesn't have to be crazy precise, but you want to make definitely a pretty precise selection of the eyes. Put that above the dark layer. I'm going to just turn the dark layer off for now. So now you got your eyes, right? Do this. You're gonna actually do the same thing that you did with the jersey. Take the eyes, adjust them to hue and saturation, and I mean honestly, I usually put it on screen. There's so many ways you can do this, guys, for real. Then I'll adjust it. I'll put the brightness up just to it's about green, so I can see a little bit of detail. But now he's got like. He looks crazy like that, but okay, we're gonna make it into a smart object again, and I'm gonna add my glow, my Gaussian blur, which is gonna make it start popping. I'm gonna go to 1.2 at first, and then I'm just gonna go in every time, making it bigger. Alright, so this is what we're looking at right now, right? Now the next step of what you need to start saying to yourself is, so like, okay, I'll try to put this in simple terms. Now you have your glow, but you need to think about where you want to put the direction of glow, and also where your glow is going to be showing like realistically on the jersey. Because if you just had like glow like this, it doesn't look realistic at all. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start using this mask that I have right here, the mask for the glow, and I'm gonna start taking the pieces of Kyrie. Okay, let me put my eyes into a group first. I'm gonna take my pieces of Kyrie, right? And where we're gonna do now is we need to decide where we want our glow to be. And I want it to be hitting him like in the eye, and then the back of him is gonna be a lot darker than the front. Okay? So now I'm taking my brush. I added a layer mask on the dark section of my drawing. Let me actually add a little bit more darkness. So darken everything out. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to say, okay, so I want it to be very bright right here. And then I'm going to add a light. You're really just deciding at this point what your light is going to be hitting the most and what it's not going to be hitting. Okay? So it's really like all up in your mind at this point in the edit. You just gotta take it upon yourself and say, this is what I want to show, this is what I don't want to show. And then it's just gonna make your editing really clean. Alright, so quick checkup. What happens to me a lot sometimes is during the edit, I get inspired when I see like a different color lookup or something like that. And what I came across when I'm thinking about my shading and stuff like that, because you just gotta recollect and think like what you want to like show in your edits. I came across the moonlight color lookup. It's actually a default color lookup, but some of these default color lookups look really good. So see that moonlight right there? That's gonna look really good, I think, with the pop for Kyrie. And I'm gonna maybe use it. So we gotta see though. Okay. But I want to see, as I'm doing this, guys, I'm thinking through. There's no really like this step is the step you need, like type of thing. It's kind of just, you gotta have some creativity when you're making these. You gotta have a lot of creativity when you're making edits, when you're doing edits. Now I'm gonna put the eyes. I'm gonna put the eyes above the color lookup, so I don't have to worry about that. See, now this is starting to come together for sure. I'm gonna drop the opacity back down on my brush. That's too much probably. Boom. Nope. And I'm going boom, boom. Just showing his arm, because his arm's not gonna be in complete darkness. All right. Checking my phone, sorry. But yeah, so now I got that. Now what am I gonna do next? I'm thinking through. Might have to, sometimes what's good is when you add backlight. So let's try that. Let's try some backlight. All right. Now for backlight, there's a whole bunch of options you could use. Sometimes I use lens flares, sometimes I don't. But lens flares actually help a lot, because you see stuff like that. See that? It's gonna definitely bring gonna bring stuff to life. Try to avoid I'd kind of say try to avoid having like, why is this showing up black? Okay, that's weird, but try to avoid having like lines on your backlights, because what I use a lot is lens flares, but I find that sometimes the light kind of makes me mad because I don't really want that light on it. Those lines right here, those lines, bro, they kind of make me mad. I wish that like they had a version without them, but to get rid of that, let me stop complaining. To get rid of that, just use your blur tool. You could use that, and you could blur out the lines. That's a quick fix. You just work that, put the strength up if you need, and then it's gonna start blurring out those lines slowly. And then I might come over and use the mixer brush as well. Oh, way too, I was gonna say way too wet, but that's like definitely a pause. But here we go with the brush, mix, color pick. Ever so slightly around and around. Alright, so now that you got that, so that it makes sense, you're gonna need to add your lighting on his body. Since you have a light behind him, now you're gonna need to add light on him. So select Kyrie, right? Select him. This is the selection that you got. Now add a layer above him. Then we're gonna drop down and pick a brush. I usually just go in with the like default general brush. Always does the job. You gotta pick a brush that's to your liking, and you're gonna start adding the lighting on his body. So going in, it's gonna be here. Boom, boom. I think I'm gonna add a light behind his head as well. I'm only gonna do the front actually for right now because. All right, so see that light right there? That's pretty good lighting for right now. And all of this is subject to change due to masking and a whole bunch of stuff. So that's why it's subject to change. Okay. So boom, that's the light right there. And what you're gonna need to do with this light, you're gonna have to go to filter. I'm gonna make it a smart object first. Filter, blur, because smart objects, you won't destroy your work. Filter, blur, and I'm gonna see how that light, now it's on him, but it's not alright, yeah. And this is too much. That's too much light right there. Yes, that was too much light. Okay. So I got that lighting. Now I'm gonna add a little bit more. Go to my blur again. Let's see. Do I like that? I don't know if I like that. See, now I'm gonna have to add something else though, because that looks like it's empty. This is really the process, y'all. Sometimes you just don't know what your final is gonna have to look like, because you go up and down with what you want to create. Alright, so I switched up a couple things. I put a Night from Day on Kyrie Irving to make him blend into the background more. See how he's like blending into the background more now? So I put that on him there, and I added a couple of light figurations. But now I want to show you guys how you can utilize the I'll show you guys a quick trick that I use a lot. And pretty much what you gotta do is just use the brush tool. You're gonna use this circle right here, the softer one. Put the opacity up to 100 just so you can see. And then what I do is I press Control and T perspective, and I turn this into pretty much, see that right there? That's pretty much, now this is like a light ray. And you can move light rays wherever you really need them. Where I want to focus it right now is the eyes, because the eyes make the edit look very clean and very cool. It makes it look like he has like really like insane like vision or something like that. I don't know, it just makes the edit look cool. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you should probably feel what I'm feeling, if you get me. I don't know if y'all get me though, because alright, so then you're gonna blur that out. I'm blending this out, and you see now he's got like a glow on his eyes. And I'm gonna convert it to a smart object. And you never want your like what you make to be just like completely straight and narrow. So adding blur, it almost always will help. So now we got Kyrie. This is like a really dark portrait, which is completely fine. Let's see. I don't know if I like all the shadowing, but I like a good amount of it. Now you can just keep adding and adding different things to make the edit pop out more and more. Honestly, okay, that just changed the game right there. That literally just changed the game, bro. Alright, so I added that, and I took out this. That was like a blob of me showing you guys how to shade before. Now I'm changing the game for sure. So now I'm gonna put this white glow over, and boom, look at that. Now he's like truly glowing. Even his teeth are glowing. I don't even know how that came into. Alright. Now what I'm gonna do is something I just thought of. And I'm gonna import Kyrie's logo into here. And I'm also gonna get rid of those teeth, because those don't need to be showing up as glowing, because that looks just like stupid. So there's Kyrie's logo. I'm gonna go down to effects, color overlay, and I'm changing it to white. And obviously I'm gonna need to put it over the color overlay, the color lookup. Now I'm gonna make this glow in the background. Use the Kyrie logo and mask it out. Is you're gonna have the Kyrie logo there, so you got it right there, but you're gonna need to use his mask. So you got Kyrie's mask, right? But then you're going to need to use his mask, and you're gonna create a mask like this. You're gonna press mask on your Kyrie logo. Alright, and then after that you're gonna hold Control Shift and you're gonna press I. Or just Control I. I'm tripping today, but that is how you're gonna do that. And then so see, now you have this part of him is masked out, and you have your logo behind there, so that's gonna make a cool effect, but it doesn't look realistic right now, so you're gonna need to add your shading and your light. So now you're gonna need to find where you put all that lighting. So see, I have a little bit there. I'm getting rid of some of that lighting on him. And then there's other dark spots. So I need to put this dark spot. But be sure not to get your background. It just needs to be on Kyrie. I'm going to add a light streak behind him. And that's pretty simple to do. I'm just adding another layer. I'm just adding another layer on. So, new layer. Put white light there, white light there. Now to counter this light that I just added going in right here, I'm adding a shadow on his right arm to make it look like it's reflecting off of him. See how without it, it looks like, okay, there's light on the back of him, like there should be something there. So you got to add that in to make it look realistic. Alright, so this is kind of coming to fruition of what I kind of envisioned. It's been tough because it's kind of hard to know what exactly you want at first, but I'm going to add some effects on here. So I'm going to add one of my favorite effects. Not that one. I just got effects on effects, to be honest. I like this one a lot. The flying debris. And I'm going to place that behind Kyrie. So I'm going to go to Kyrie. Oops. Oh yeah, make sure your profile is always set up the same. Ooh, so his profile. Now we're adding the debris in. And this is always a cool effect, I think. If you don't think so, then you're missing out, for sure. So I kind of just go through and freestyle what I think is enough. This is my third layer of it. So that's looking pretty good. Now I'm gonna add a couple finishing steps. Alright, so the finishing steps really are pretty easy, but it's just about taking your time to notice little things. So the first one I want to do is, you could not see that N4 before. I'm gonna backspace to show you guys. You couldn't see the ad before, so now I just made my mask a little bit better, added in that, because now you can actually see the ad. Also on this glow, let's see, no, that should actually be behind. That looks fine. Yeah, see how this is a light ray? That light ray should be hitting, that light ray should definitely be hitting differently. It should be all the way behind him, and for some reason it's kind of not. So we're gonna fix that. And I'm gonna add a mask. There's a couple ways you could have done this. I'm deciding to do it this way. And if you're an editor yourself, always let me know what I could have done differently, or what you would have done, because there are just so many ways to do edits. It's really all about preference, kinda. Once you get the hang of doing this, you kinda just gotta you gotta just think about different ways you could attack it, and pretty much that's it. Just different ways you'd attack it and different ways to excel at what you're doing, and just have fun with it, for real. Like, people take this way too seriously when they're like, you suck at this, you suck at this. Like, bro, I'm just having fun with it, man. And I'm getting paid with it. So, I mean, you can hate all you want, feel me? I know y'all feel me. Now I'm adding that soft light. See, adding that detailing work. You gotta make sure your detailing work is to a key. It's what's gonna bring it all together. And the next step that I show you guys, this next small step, it brings it together lovely. Now I'm gonna add a little bit more shine up here. Get a little bit of reflection off there. You could either mask out what you don't need, or I'll show you guys. I already had used the blur a little bit, but I'll show you again. I used the blur. The dodge tool helps too. They're kind of all helpful. All these brushes are kind of helpful. You can just mix it up. The dodge, that kind of blends it together real nice. Then I'll go right back onto my brush. And I'll boom. Just doing my thing. What time is it? It's getting late. Just doing my thing, man. By the time this is up, it'll probably be on my Instagram page too. I already posted today, but why not double post? When you're doing shadowing, you kind of don't want to go from the outside like I just did, but it's cleaning up. Alright, now I'm going to add a little bit of filters. And these are going to boost your work a lot. It can boost your work, and it can also make you want to change a couple things. I gotta find what layer this is. At the end of these, I just have so many layers. See that? Right here. That needs to go. That needs to get out of here. That should not be there. We got our vibrance, and I'll add selective color. I just kind of started using this now. See, didn't do nothing because we're on reds right now. There's a lot of black and blue in this. Our blue, see, now that's going. Blue's going in. I like that kind of tint. This still okay. So what I'm doing with these guys, so I'm not boring you out of your mind. See these on the right, the bottom right? I'm just going in, I'm picking some of these, and I'm making the photo look better. So I'm gonna go through and do that, and I'm gonna. Alright guys, so this is the final product that I made. You guys let me know what you think about it in the comment section, man. I appreciate y'all for stopping out, and this is gonna be a long video, so if you want to skip through it or whatever, but I'm glad that you reached the end, saw me do my outro. Man, if you're new to the channel, make sure you drop a like, hit the sub button one time for the channel, hit the post notifications. We're always uploading, I'm always streaming, getting better every day, man. It's just, that's what it's all about, getting better every day. I appreciate everybody that's been showing support to my edits, my channel, my Instagram, just my grind in general, man. I appreciate y'all. It's been calsoscoped, and I'm checking out for now, y'all. Peace.